welcome everyone. Welcome viewers who are just about to tune in. Welcome to the first and hopefully not last Sanity Check podcast, the official podcast.
Woo.
Um, we have the three people that you'll be listening to today is myself, Big Iron, the atomic cowboy dinosaur, uh, the streaming host, and the the guy that just makes all the kabooms, ShebaKaboom.
Hello, welcome.
And then we finally have our awesome friend and fellow game enthusiast, former World of Warcraft player, Winterheart.
Unfortunate former World of Warcraft.
Former, very
Yeah.
former.
Very former.
So the big thing about this podcast is it was kind of like an idea formed from the three of us equally, is that we want to do a podcast about a few mostly tabletop role playing and also just geeky stuff that has connections to it. Am I sounding okay? Just making sure.
Hey, you're all right.
Yeah.
All right, good. Just let me know when I'm not. Unfortunately my internet connection is literal ass, so I'll have to restart it every once in a while. Don't know why.
We all know
I
that pain.
I guess I have McDonald's internet, as the Call of Duty kids used to call it.
Former Call of Duty kids.
Former Call of Duty kids. Anything Activision Blizzard is former now.
It's now former.
It's former.
Yeah.
Anyway, on a more important topic, a topic that's more for the podcast is there's a big question that people have anytime they watch stuff like Critical Role, by Night, Into the Motherlands, a bunch of shows.
Adventure Zone.
Adventure Zone. Yeah, don't forget Adventure Zone. One of our friend groups will beat the crap out of us if we don't say Adventure Zone.
High hopes, low rolls. I think that's one example. I don't know. I'm just naming off.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them, and for those who are watching that, or they've seen Stranger Things or a bunch of stuff like that, they're asking, how do I get into tabletop role-playing games? And the simple answer is there are multiple ways to do it. But before we answer that, to get kind of an idea of how you get into the games, let's start with how each of us got into the hobby. I'll save myself for last. Dathan, you want to start? Or sorry, Sheba.
Wow.
Oops, sorry. Whoops.
It's whatever.
Oopsie.
It's whatever. They're gonna hear our real names anyway. But at some point, the illusion has been revealed. Anyway, they look behind the curtain. Yeah. But anyway,
Don't worry, it's just the FBI. Don't worry about them.
So honestly, how I got into the RPGs was just like the tabletop RPGs was actually from NICC. Officially, that's how I got into it. Really, back in all the way, I would say grade school. I actually picked up the Star Wars RPG.
Ooh.
Like, was that the Saga edition?
Yeah,
version?
It was. It was actually.
Oh yeah.
It was. It was actually I bought it off of the Scholastic those Scholastic Book Fair.
Oh yeah, those.
Yeah. It was like those booklet things that you get. Like you're like, if you order this, like you can get this and all that. And it's always the best thing ever to do. But anyway, yeah, I got the Star Wars one, and I did not understand what the hell I was doing with this thing. I was like, what am I supposed to do with this? I thought it was just Star Wars shit, but it was just like, I don't understand this. So I kind of kept it around and all that. I still have the dice that came with the game. I mean, it was just like Sith and Jedi dice too. It's kind of cool.
Those are rare.
Was that your first pair of dice?
Yeah, it was my first pair of dice.
Oh.
I kind of kept it. I actually still my dad mentioned like a long time ago that he and his siblings used to play D&D. So he goes, I still have mine, and then he tried looking for it. He goes, oh yeah, I forgot. One of my brothers have it, and then we went to his brothers, and his brother says I don't have it anymore. So that was the end of that. Eventually, in NICC, then it's North Iowa Community College. Basically, that's where I went to college. But that's actually when I officially became invested into the RPG genre. I was just kind of doing it just because I thought it would sound cool. Because it was like I was kind of bored.
Hey,
As you do.
Yeah, that's kind of how I got into it. Then formed it used to be a Monday group, I think, and then it was a Wednesday group, then a Thursday group, and then officially we just kind of stuck it to Friday.
It jumped around.
How long ago was that?
That would be 12 years ago.
Wow.
That's how long that Friday group has been stuck to ground for 12 years.
And you've been playing regularly since then?
Yeah.
Every Friday.
Every Friday. Well, every Friday, and unless there's actually something going on with that Friday.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I think a lot of sorry if I'm talking over you, Sheba. The one thing that, do you know how long the group has last? The amount of people and the roster of people has changed immensely over the 12 years.
Originally, it started off with me, you, my wife, my girlfriend at the time. Now, well, since then, wife Nikki, and it used to be a few other members that kind of drifted off, but they still want to come back. Used to be 4 or 5 of us, and 3 main, Nikki, you, and Big Iron still stuck around. Then we added our friend Eric, and then we had other people too, and then just basically that's how it kind of grew. And now we had to cap it off because they were getting so many more people. Because we had a few members be like, "Oh, can these people join in? Oh, can these people join in?" No. Our limit is our limit is like 6 to 7 people.
Yeah, it's because there's a rotating DM seat, and everyone in the group is really good DM, so everyone wants to play. And it's really hard because I've had to turn people down that I knew would be really good, but then it's like, I can't fit you in. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Even just to have a group that large is tough to keep
I know how that feels. Oh my god.
Yeah.
track of and have decent sized sessions. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh Jesus. We'll get into that with DM tips down the line, but yeah, that's how you started, Biba. I guess now, Winter, how did you start?
I was introduced to D&D traditional 3.5 from a boyfriend at the time. It was back in 2008, 2009, so 10, 11 years ago, somewhere around there.
A long ass time ago.
Yeah. I played a half-elf druid of celestial descent.
Oh yeah.
I was kind of thrown into a game that was already, it was a group that had been playing off and on these campaigns with these characters for 5 years, so it was advanced level. They had a lot of really cool things, a lot of advanced stuff, so I was kind of just thrown into it, which was really cool. Thankfully it didn't affect me going to other games where it was starting at level 1 or 3.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because sometimes that can people were like, "Oh man, I don't have all the cool things," but it's kind of neat to get
work.
those. Yeah. And then shortly after that, the group dissolved because life stuff. People moved away. Normal things.
Yes, adulting, the biggest killer of any D&D group.
Yeah, work, school, all that. And I didn't play for several years, which was a huge bummer. And then I joined with you guys like 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And we've done various games, various levels, and it's all been really fun. And like, I like that you guys do a rotating DMs because it makes it really unique, and like you can see the different systems and the different play styles and DM types.
Like getting to see like every campaign or whatever is like a show. Like you get to see a new show every time it rotates.
It's kind of how
Yeah,
sorry.
different.
Sorry, go on.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say that's kind of how our campaigns are kind of treated too. They're like shows, and like because we have like each like a campaign 1, campaign 2, and campaign 3. We treat them as seasons basically. Also,
Yeah, that's really cool. Like I love coming back to them.
Also, I like to mention happy birthday, by the way, Winter.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
I forgot to mention that, and I'm like,
That's okay. I lost track of time and forgot that my birthday was coming up anyway. So
thank God for Facebook.
yeah, thank
yeah.
God. So
I saw Facebook and I'm like, I'm getting done after work and I see that and I'm like, fuck, I gotta say happy birthday. Shit.
yeah, I saw that like I saw a meme about this, like saying like I can't remember if people are saying happy birthday just because they remembered it, or is Facebook reminded them.
Pretty much.
Nowadays, it's still nice, even if Facebook did tell them.
It's yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess. Oh, sorry.
I was going to say it definitely helped my grandma because she keeps forgetting not our birthdays, but like everyone else's birthdays.
Everyone else's. This is the same with my mom. She sometimes forgets my birthday sometimes, and I'm like, how can you forget that? There's so many of you. Anyway,
It's like 4.
So I guess I'll start with me. I'm last. So my story kind of starts. I'm probably there's probably people who've played like started out way younger. I started out when I was 12. When I was 12 years old.
Oh, wow.
My uncle Dave, the cool uncle, Dathan knows, Big Dave,
Yeah.
superhero Dave, as I like to call him, because he literally looks like a superhero. He was like my superhero when I was a kid. Like he was the coolest thing ever.
He was fucking
he
huge.
still is. He's still huge.
It reminds me of He kind of reminds me of Dave Bautista just a little bit.
He used to be bigger. He used to be Dave Bautista. I used to make fun of him for it, and he's like, "Shut up, or I'll put you through a table." All that. But no, so I would used to go hang out with him, do sleepovers with him and my brother, my younger brother. And one night, instead of doing a movie night or playing video games like you do, he pulls out a first edition Dungeons and Dragons, like player's handbook, monster manual, all that stuff. He's like, "Guys, I want to show you this." And I'm like, "Wow, what's this?" And he goes, "Well, it's called Dungeons and Dragons." And my first character was if you Dathan and or sorry, Sheba and Winter, they'll laugh because it makes so much sense for me to play this kind of character. My first character was a dwarf barbarian, and I loved playing him. We did on and off games, but then my uncle got super busy. He became a teacher, so I couldn't hang out with him as much. Yeah, he literally does everything. Just ask it. Anyway. Well, this is not about him. Well, separate podcast for that. No, I'm just kidding. He after that, I just fell in love with Dungeons and Dragons. I fell in love with it because at that time I was also reading Lord of the Rings and
Ooh.
Conan the Barbarian, just pretty much all that kind of stuff. I was super into it, but I didn't have a group to play with because I was the kid that had no friends.
No.
Besides one, and he has certain kind of mental issues. Not be he wasn't a bad guy. It's just more he couldn't pay attention more than 5 minutes. Sheba knows who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny. He texted me not too long ago. I haven't heard from him in almost almost a year. So
maybe just realized he just remembered you or something like that.
I know, right? It's crazy how that works.
Crazy.
Anyway, it's crazy. But no, I only my interests waned a little because I couldn't find anyone to play. Then when I hit 16, I found this great game that people were playing, and I fell in love with it, and I still love it to this day. It was Vampire the Masquerade. That's the game that really got me into role playing games. Besides
Oh, wow.
D&D, yeah, it just came at that perfect time. You know, when you're an edgy teenager, it's like literally the perfect game for that. And I've been playing since I'm 12 years old. I've DM'd. I'm kind of a forever DM, unfortunately.
Oh,
You play.
Yeah, I play, but times where there are times where like people are like, "Do you want to DM?" Sometimes I'm like, "Sure." This is for other groups. I've been literally asked to DM other groups, but not, and I usually turn them down because I just don't have time. But yeah, that's kind of my story, really. And the thing is, I guess now we got to kind of talk about how do you get into RPGs, like the easiest way possible.
oh yeah, because that's changed over the years too.
Yeah, like the
Yes.
like the idea of playing tabletop RPGs are like it's changed drastically since then.
Dramatically, I like that word.
Drastically. But it's like it's
Yes.
dramatic, but it's also drastically.
Yeah, it's like a big brain word time. No, but well, that's the thing, you know. Back when I was a kid, there wasn't TV shows of people playing Dungeons and Dragons. I mean, there was a cartoon and an awful movie that we don't talk about.
Hey, I liked that movie.
Hey, we'll talk about that movie like in another podcast or something like that. Just talking about it.
But that is a story for another day. No, just kidding. No, but kind of like it's easier to get into any role playing game now, but it's also a little harder now. It's kind of a mixed bag
Mhm.
because you have so many resources now. Like you can literally get starter kits for free as PDFs for a lot of these games. Maybe later on for those who do want to actually start, we'll actually post maybe later on some websites and such to actually get you into these games and such if you are actually starting. Like one of them, if you're going to play Dungeons and Dragons, a good starter, and Dathan or Sheba, I don't know if you'll agree, maybe D&D Beyond is a great way to start. Oh, looks like he's busy at the moment, but Winter, wouldn't you agree, like D&D Beyond is a pretty good way to
Yeah,
start? Like,
I've heard. I haven't used it myself. Like I've gone to the site a few times here and there, but I know people that do use it and they love it. It's very like everything's there and organized, and it's well
mhm.
known. It's pretty good.
It's easy to get to.
Yeah, I do. I think you have to. I don't know if you have to pay for a subscription to get all of those things.
You do have to pay, but you are getting literally everything that Wizards has
Oh, yeah.
brought out.
Well, that's good.
And you're also getting stuff that's obviously also, if I remember correctly, I might be wrong. Keyword, I might be wrong, guys. You will get stuff that they're also working on, so like Unearthed Arcana, stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so and I know that for a fact. Another good place to start looking for games is like Drive Through RPG is an amazing place. Seriously, I've gotten so much stuff from that place. It's kind of scary. My fiance literally has told me you need to stop buying stuff at that website.
It can get
And
addicting.
it's so addicting because you just want to add your collection.
Especially dice.
Yes. Another thing, if you're looking for like materials to get, like if you want to looking for dice, folders, character sheets, all that stuff, best place to go is probably like Books a Million. I don't know what they have over there in California. Do they have Books a Million over there, or
I don't think so. I mean, locally, I've got like game shops. Like there's one called Green Tower Games, and they have all kinds of games and board games, and they have
Mhm.
D&D games that they put on, and yeah, they've got it all.
It's kind of the same. We have a local game shop where me and Sheba are from. It's called Comic World. Um, they have everything there. They have dice. They have sheets that you can buy. You can obviously print them off or what have you. There's just honestly, the best way I can put it is, um, if you do want to start, I would just kind of go with websites like, this is for D&D, by the way. This is Other games are different. They're all going to be different. D&D Beyond's going to be your friend. Reddit is also a good place.
There's also Roll20, which is
Hmm.
kind of an amazing site that you can run your games there and have your maps and everything. And then they have a community area. You can join random games, like if you don't know anybody or you don't have enough people to play with on your own. So that's a pretty cool site. And you can do some of that. Like they have subscriptions that you can pay for, like Pro, and you get certain things, but then you can also join it for free. I've been on it for a couple of years and I've never paid for a subscription because I've never needed it. Like I haven't gotten into DMing too much yet, so
That's right. You actually, you're now a new DM. You have the badge of new DM now.
I've done one game.
One game, which was really good. It was very good, actually. Yeah, you're welcome. Um, but yeah, like you said, that website's also really good.
Mhm.
Honestly, I had a good time with it, myself. Um, there are guides out there that teach you how to set up stuff with
Yeah.
Roll20, obviously.
Yeah, it can come off as kind of intimidating at first because there's a lot of information and how to navigate it, but once you get used to it,
Yes,
it's not bad at all.
yes. I think Sheba. I think he's getting food. It looks like he's muted himself. So, well, I guess we'll talk from here. But he'll jump back in
Okay.
when he gets a chance.
Well, I
But
have
yeah,
another site I could suggest for people.
sure, go ahead.
It's not like you can't really game through it or anything, but it gives you. It's called the Rook and the Raven, and it gives you can order like campaign diaries and planners. It has like character sheets, and you can custom put them together and choose
Hmm.
what front you want, and has like the laminated pages and the markers so that you don't have to write on your pages, and it has the spell cards. um, it can be a little pricey, but because it's custom and you're really getting like something made to order.
You're getting your money's worth.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I ordered something from it a while ago, and it takes a little while, obviously, because they have to make it for you. Um, but I'm excited to get it someday.
I'm still waiting for your dice bags that
Oh my
you
gosh,
made for me.
yeah, I haven't had a chance to get to ship them, but I will
Oh,
soon.
I'm like, man, they're taking a while. I'm like,
Oh my
I
gosh,
thought you shipped them.
no, no.
Oh, whoops.
I'd be calling them up and be like, "Excuse me, where are these bags?"
Where are you? Where are your bags? No, but also Winter here also has a business. Uh, obviously going to kill for it. Winter, is it Emporium?
Uh, yes, Winter Hearts Emporium, I think.
Winter Heart
On Facebook.
Emporium.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on Facebook. You make like custom dice bags, stuff like that.
Yeah, eggs and dog pillows for now, and
Hmm.
it's kind of slow going, because pandemic and all that. But
But hey, I mean, if we get your name out there, then people are possibly going to buy it. That's a good thing.
yeah,
And I unfortunately don't have a side hustle. I am a scrub. I am a
Oh.
retail scrub. I work at a place called Menards. It is, if you don't know what that is, Midwest uh Home Depot,
Yeah, like Home Depot and Lowe's and stuff.
crap like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But anyway, all right. I think another thing that I guess um to talk about when you are searching for a group, it's really important to remember that when you are searching for a group, you're obviously going to try to find a group that gels best with who you are. Like each person, everybody's different, and
Mm-hmm.
every group is different. Like there are some groups that they'll play games to play it as a game, like to play it pretty much like a video game almost. And then there are groups that are more for the role playing side. None of those games are bad in their own right. Just talk to your fellow players. That's another tip. Talk to your future group mates what they want to do with a game.
Yeah,
Um
the group mates and the DM like discuss it, figure out where you're sitting on like how you want to play the game and what things you're cool with or not cool with.
yes, that is important, seriously. I don't know, Winter. I don't know if you heard a lot of horror stories about people going into groups and they just find it to be not a very fun experience. Like I don't know if you had your own horror stories. I have my own, but I'd rather not get into them at the moment.
That's understandable. No, I've been pretty lucky with most of my groups that I've been with, and I'm pretty flexible. Like I'll do heavy role play games or I'll do heavy combat games. The only thing that I'm really like that really freaks me out and that I have trouble with is permanent character death.
Oh, I'm.
I Yeah,
Oh,
it's such a bummer for me.
are you're that kind of person that gets really invested in the character that you created?
Absolutely. Yeah, and like I'm spending real time making this character and it's a fun thing to do and so like I don't know, I just feel like a part of me goes into the characters.
And then when that person dies, it really hurts.
Yeah, I'm just like, "No, what am I gonna do now?"
You are gonna hate Call of Cthulhu then.
Well, see, okay, so if I go in knowing that like that's the type of game, that's the most likely thing that's gonna happen. It's meant
Hmm.
to be harsh and some of you are not gonna make it, then that's cool. Then I go in knowing.
Yeah.
But if I'm going into a different like a full-blown campaign and halfway through my character were to die, oh my God, I would be devastated.
Dude, I've only had one character death in Dungeons and Dragons. In other games, it's a whole different story. Like in Dungeons and Dragons, I've had like one or two characters die.
Oh, that's rough.
It's not no, it's all right. They were well earned. Well earned deaths. And it just depends on what kind of game the group wants to play,
Yeah.
like you said. There are games out there like Dungeons and Dragons, especially 5th edition is probably the most user-friendly game right now, seriously.
Mhm.
It's so simple to get into, and I know some people may not like to hear this, but it is incredibly easy to play. Uh, it's not like older editions where death was more of a common thing. Um, and then there are other games where death is just a fact of the game. Um, like I said, Call of Cthulhu is a big thing. There are others. Can you hear me? Okay.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay, making
Real
sure.
good.
I gotta make sure because my internet is very fickle.
No, so far
Yeah,
so good.
awesome. But no, it's like yeah. I was about to say, uh, yeah. It just really depends on who you're gonna be gaming with, because this is gonna be people you're gonna spend a lot of time with.
Mhm.
By the way, you're gonna spend hours with them, so you might want to get a group of people who actually want to make sure that you're having a good time.
Yeah, definitely.
So obviously, I would recommend like, um, if you're gonna start, do it with a bunch of friends. If you if you have a few friends, you can literally start like with like one other person. I'll DM, you play, or the opposite, or something like that.
Yeah, I've watched the well-known D&Ders do that, but I've never done that, uh, like just the one-on-one thing.
You mean the professionals?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really, that's kind of a thing you also have to, when you're starting out. You especially if you're going to start a game, um set boundaries for not only yourself but other people in game, especially because some of these games can get pretty intense, and there's some games that are very intense.
Yeah.
I mean, any World of Darkness game or something like that, you want to set boundaries. Rule zero or the social contract, where again you talk to your players and such,
Yeah.
and
At the
your
end of the day,
DM.
it's just supposed to be for fun, so.
Yeah, seriously, guys, this is about fun. We're definitely not Matt Mercer and those guys, though I wish I was Sam. I because he is a ball of adorable and I love him.
They're all awesome.
Yes, they are. But yeah, like, trying to think what else, like, how to get started. It's always hard to start, honestly, if you have no uh what's the word I want to say, like any prior experience doing it.
Yeah. Well, like, I mean, any of it, because there's so much to it. There's so much papers and
Yeah.
like books and books. It can really be kind of daunting, but once you get into it, like, it's just kind of just like, oh, what's this? And oh, I want to read about this. And oh, this is really cool.
Yeah, it's it is daunting, but thankfully nowadays there's, the internet is much more prominent, and social media like YouTube, Reddit, another, you can check forums, like, that kind of thing. Okay. All right, I guess well, we're still waiting on Sheba. I think Sheba is definitely, he's either muted his mic completely and he can't hear us and we're just shouting into oblivion, or he's shouting into oblivion, or I think he has just gotten to get some food. So
Mm.
yeah, so
Or dealing with puppy stuff.
yeah, puppy dad. Yeah, Sheba is a puppy dad, so um he deals with that. Unfortunately, I do not have an animal to call my own, unfortunately.
Maybe someday.
Maybe
Uh-oh.
maybe one that doesn't
Oh,
want to kill you.
hello.
Well,
As you came back, I think his internet went out.
yeah.
Hmm. Perhaps he'll be back in a moment.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I was just eating a little bit. He brought Buffalo Wild Wings.
Ooh, nice. We were just continuing to chat on like how to get into D&D and stuff.
Yeah.
Like different sites. Uh-oh. Hmm.
Oh my god, jeez. I came back.
Welcome back.
What happened?
Sheba returned. He is indeed eating.
Do it.
I was eating.
What's for dinner?
I was having Buffalo Wild Wings.
Damn, big dubs.
I think he's eating in the background too. He says hi, by the way.
Hello.
Hello.
No, so we were kind of talking about how, like, I don't know if you heard us. I've heard.
You don't have to recap.
Okay, good. Dathan, what do you think is like something that's important for new players to be ready for when they're getting into a new group? Like, what do you think is the most important thing besides obviously talking to them?
Patience.
Ooh, good one.
That's true.
And lots of patience, because there are going to be there's going to be some players, there's going to be some DMs that are going to be really frustrating. But but some people are still there because they're want to be supportive. But then they're like, I should go, because there are some toxic or as gaming term is gatekeeping.
Yeah.
Gatekeeping groups and players and DMs. There's going to be lots of that. That's nothing you should be worried about if you're told that what you're playing is not correct and all that. Because trust me, like we've been told multiple times that how we play is not correct.
Yeah, like if going back to say like picking the right group, it's not so much a you're playing the wrong way. It's more just maybe that group isn't for you. You just find a
Pretty
different group
much.
and play the way you want to play.
Our groups are pretty laid back, like really laid back.
Yeah. I always kind of see it as the worst kind of group, honestly, is the kind of group that is non-supportive of you you as the new player.
Yeah.
This is usually comes from, unfortunately, I hate to say it, but some older groups that have been playing for a long time, and they want to add somebody, but they don't add them in a more particularly healthy way.
Like if they add a player that does things a little differently or is kind of newer and then they're used to the
They just
older way.
Yeah, and they treat them like, shit, and that's uncalled for.
Yeah. Like it's cool if they want to stick like if they want to be a certain way or like stick to a certain edition or anything that like that's totally up to whatever the person wants to do, but there's, to treat new people coming in badly because of that isn't good.
It's not good. It's not healthy for the hobby, and it's certainly not healthy for individual people to treat people like this. It's just not. And honestly, it's a game, guys. Come on. This isn't life or death. Like, I know we deal with life and death situations in game, but out of game, come on now. This is just any role playing game. You know what I've called it, and I don't know if people agree, but I used to call it cops and robbers, but with dice. You're just playing pretend for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotta check something here. Right. So, all right, and so there's a wide range of games that you can play. Like, that's the thing. It's not just Dungeons and Dragons. So if you're really not into the fantasy kind of thing, you have plenty of options.
Oh my
There's
god.
so
There's
many.
so many different types of games nowadays.
Oh fuck, I know. It's crazy. And it's not just, games from big companies. There's also indie companies who you should support if you do like their game, like by purchasing either their PDFs that they have out there or
Kickstarter.
yeah, or Kickstarters. Yes, Kickstarters are awesome because you get free swag most of the time. But yeah, there's just any genre you can think of. There are there is a tabletop game for, like, let's just say, I'll give you an example. I like sci-fi. Okay, there's plenty of sci-fi games. There's Stars Without Number. There's multiple Star Wars games. You like Star Trek? There's a Star Trek game, which Winter, I know you would want to play.
Yeah, we did a little bit.
We did. It was really good.
Yeah.
You like Fallout? Well, there's a game for that, but you should look somewhere else.
Oh.
I went there. Yes.
Ooh, yeah. The official Fallout game is not great right now. There's an official game now.
There's an official game, but it's just expensive as fuck. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, there's also Darwin's World if you want to do that kind of game.
That's the good alternative.
There's a Stargate one.
Yes,
too.
there is.
I've got to try that someday.
There's a Stargate. There's a Firefly one. There's a Game of Thrones.
There's a Firefly one.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's an official one. There's a Game of Thrones one. Jesus, just like
there's a Doctor Who one.
There's some anime ones, but like those are you might want to look somewhere else.
Oh, well, I don't know which Last Airbender.
There is one, yeah.
Yes, there is one coming out.
It's on Kickstarter now. They were gonna release it as a finished product, but I guess they're not finished yet. So just so you know, go kickstart them if you want. Also, yeah. What's up, Winter?
Oh no, I just said soon.
Oh, sorry. There's multiple games that you can get into. I mean, hell, there's literally a game that I saw. This is a long time ago. It was a farming simulator game. Like, think like Harvest Moon, like the video game Harvest Moon. Like, there's a game for that where you make a farm.
Or Stardew Valley if you're unfamiliar.
Yeah, if you're newer.
Younger.
For the kids. For the kids.
I wonder if there's a Minecraft one.
There probably is.
Probably, but I mean, there is technically is. It's called Minecraft Dungeons, but that's a video game.
Yeah.
Sure.
Kind of play. I don't know. I never played it.
I haven't played it yet. I have Game Pass, so I might have to try it out. I know that Sheba knows. I keep saying your actual name. God damn.
It's just like it comes to the point where like, just say my name.
I know. I am so sorry. Just no, Sheba, the one genre of game I love a lot. He knows. Winter kind of knows. I love superhero games. Those are my favorite.
Yeah.
If you want to get into that, like if you're into Marvel, your luck. There's a game for that. There's two games actually. There's Mutants and Masterminds, which is the game that me and Sheba have played the most of when it comes to superheroes.
Yes.
There's also an official Marvel game coming out, a tabletop game. So.
Oh, neat.
There you go. Yeah. I don't know when it'll come out. I'm pretty sure it comes out next year. Also, don't mind me. I'm playing with my dice a little since we're talking about
dice
role-playing game. Yeah. Oh, right. I almost forgot. First, Sheba talked about what his first dice was. Winter, what was your first dice?
Oh, I can't remember if I bought them at a local store or if I got them at a convention. I think I got them at a convention. It was probably AI. But they were just like these partially clear, partially greenish blue little set of dice. I've had them ever since.
Yeah, everyone kind of remembers their first set of dice. I remember mine. I got it.
Hold on.
What's up?
I was going to say, like, Nikki kind of wants to say her piece about her first set of dice.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure. Go ahead.
I'm introducing my wife. Hello.
This is my wife.
The wifey here.
Mm-hmm.
I actually remember my first set of dice, and you're the one who bought them, Zach. It was the pink one.
Yeah, I did buy you that first.
Yeah. It's a pink and sparkler.
I bought you the pink and sparkly
Wow.
kind.
Just the way I
That's funny.
like it.
Well, it's just because you told me you didn't like pink, so
Oh yeah, and you still gave me pink.
I still gave you pink.
Now they are her first dice. She'll never forget them.
I still
I
use them.
hated them so much.
Yeah. No, those great dice.
Do you still have them?
Yeah, I still use them.
Oh yeah, that's right. I've seen you use them when we were
Yeah.
playing Pirates.
Yeah.
And Call of Cthulhu. Um,
Oh my god! Holy shit! I didn't expect them to like give us so many carrots. And I was at the Buffalo Wild Wings, and sorry, off topic, but like
no, you're fine.
their system went down, and so I had to remember 4 type of sauces because I remember like D and I were kind of like flip flopping which sauces that we wanted, and so I just was like, oh fuck it, whatever, because it's gonna be good. So
Right.
damn, I should have told her some more stuff because I already paid for it, and so I was like thinking in my head like, damn, maybe I should have like told her like we had more stuff. But then I was like, no,
Or
no,
sauce.
no. Or like more like just like anything like dessert or something,
Oh God.
and get like something on the side too.
Just be like, hey, can I have like an extra cheesecake?
A whole cheesecake.
Yeah,
Just give me the whole cheesecake.
yeah. I'm like, fuck it. I should have
Right.
done that. Damn it. Maybe
I mean,
maybe I should have went back and be like, yeah, I also forgot a few other stuff.
right.
And it
That's my mother. She does that too. You forgot something. Right. But yeah, sorry for giving you such shitty dice.
No, actually, they're not shitty. They work
Oh,
just
Good
fine.
story. So.
You gotta start somewhere.
It's just a shitty color.
That's kind of the thing. I got you quality.
Yeah. Sweet,
Just-
sweet.
They look horrible.
Yeah.
What was the first dice I bought? My God. I was the edgy kid, so I bought red and black dice.
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
Edgy.
I was
Good
the
old
edge
color
lord.
combo.
Edge
Oh
lord.
yeah. I still
The
the
edge.
edge. Urewa unshindeyo. Like, listen, I was pretty baller back then, going to my D&D sessions with my Slipknot bag and wearing my trip pants.
Mhm.
Trip pants. Oh, I remember those.
I remember
I-
trip pants. So
I
I
do
used to
too.
own trip pants. Like
I did too.
they were so great. They were like black and red, and they even had like chains, and for some reason a freaking zipper on the side that was like useless.
And they made such cute ones for girls too. Like they weren't
Yeah.
just for guys.
Yeah. But I think I grabbed the guys. I think no,
Did
no,
that
no, I
really?
didn't. No, I didn't.
Oh,
No, I didn't. I think about it.
retconning over here.
But you can go to Hot Topic online. It's an online store only. Trip pants.
Oh.
There you go.
Yeah. Just
So
a
if you
little
ever want to,
FYI.
what were you about to say, Winter?
I just said interesting.
So if you ever want to get back to your teenage days, or you're cosplaying in your Vampire the Masquerade group, you
I'm
can
a
go there.
vampire. I
Yeah.
have so many issues.
My sire is such
Oh,
an
God.
asshole.
Oh God, I remember I remember Twilight when it came out, that there was a lot of Vampires and Masquerade players because of Twilight.
I do remember that because I was in the middle of it. They're
Yeah.
like, so do we? I had one girl. Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, I wasn't saying anything. Nick was just
Oh,
sitting
I'm
down.
sorry.
It's the mic just picked it up. That's all right. Yeah, it's all right.
Oh.
No, I remember. Y'all get a kick out of this. I remember when I was about 16 or so, and that shit was going on, and there was There was a girl. She just got into the game, and I mean, like, this was like her first day into this little vampire game group that we had. I don't even remember who was in it. This is so long ago. She was super into Twilight, and the first thing she asked the storyteller, that's the dungeon master for those who
each game has a different way of saying it. There's dungeon master, game master, storyteller, blah 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 blah.
Yeah. My favorite one is Conan. It's called Keeper of Doom or Doom Keeper. So there's that. Yeah, Doom. Fossil Doom. But anyway,
Doom.
the Doom song. But there's this girl. She just got into the game. It was literally her first day, and I knew this was going to be either a disaster or it was just going to be something that was beautiful, because the first day she showed up, he was wearing a Team Edward shirt. He just came in. Yeah, oh yeah. And she was super nice. She was actually way younger than I was. She was like 14. So she wanted to get into the game, and she started to play it, and the first thing she asked the storyteller was, "So when do we start sparkling? Can we go out in the sun and stuff?" And my DM was just flabbergasted. This guy was what we called an old beard, or grognar. I think that's what they call it. An old nerd, old player,
a wizard,
yeah. Oh, he looked like a wizard, all right.
Alan
Moore. Don't say anything. I gamed with Alan Moore. He just complained about Watchmen the whole time.
Oh.
Anyway, no, he was just mouth wide open. He's like, "Dear, you can't go into the sun." And the girl was like, "Well, why not? Because you'll die."
Yeah.
She's like, "What?" And she almost looked like we weren't making fun of her, by the way. We totally got her back, like, into the game, but like we broke her heart a little that day.
No, because she was young and just like expecting that.
I know,
Twilight
yeah.
was the typical like vampire thing.
Like all vampires are hot and they don't look like a Nosferatu.
Yeah.
By the way, represent Nosferatu.
Alcavian, bitch. What's up?
What's up? Winter would definitely be a gangrel, just saying.
Yeah.
Gangrel's the one that controls all the animals and can turn into an animal, so that's definitely you.
Interesting. Yeah.
They're also very nature-ish. But yeah, that's one story I've had of that. That also kind of goes in with the whole talk to your group before you want to do something.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Have you ever had? I mean, you could call it a horror stories or anything like that. Winter, have you ever had like a shitty group, like a gatekeeping group?
No, because I only like that group that I started with, and then I took a big break, and then I went with you guys, and then my other group, which is my boyfriend and his friends, and everybody's great. I don't have any horror stories, so I've been really
there you
lucky.
go. You are quite lucky. What about you, Sheba? Like, I know you've been pretty much in my groups, and then you started with the Monday group and all that. What about you? Like, was there any like horror stories when it comes to that?
See when back in the day, I see when I did that one thing with what's the guy's name? Chris.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know who you're talking about.
He invited me along. I'm like, okay, so he kind of picked me up at my house, and we kind of went over one session. Yeah, my character got ripped apart.
What?
Character sheet wise, because he was like looking at this guy looks at the character sheet and it was kind of like saying, "What is this? What is that? What is that? What the fuck? Who made this? Did you make this?"
He
Wow.
fucking criticized you that bad?
Yeah, to the point where like I don't want to come anymore because it was already uncomfortable as it is.
Oh,
Yeah, like even if you
is this
had
like
an
your first
iffy sheet.
No, more like this is like the first sorry, I'm talking to old boy. This is the first like gatekeeping group you've ever been into.
Sorry, Winter.
That's okay.
See, I don't think I've had that issue at all with the. Oh, sorry. Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
So I've never had an issue of at all. I can't even think of one. And
There you go. well, people are quite lucky with that. Winter, you were saying something connected to that at all?
Oh, just that like the dude didn't have to be mean if your sheet was off or something wasn't
Yeah.
correct in the way it was supposed to be. Like good players and DMs should teach, not criticize.
Yeah.
Very true, honestly.
He basically took another character sheet and rewrote everything down.
Such an asshole move.
Yeah.
I would never do that. Ever.
He rewrote everything down and gave me the correct character sheet and kept my old one.
Gross.
What? He didn't even
Just
give you back
gross.
your old sheet?
What an asshole.
Eventually,
I thought he...
Eventually, like the next day, Chris actually got it back from him. Hopefully, we didn't scare you off. I'm like, this is not my thing. Sorry.
Bye. Bye. That kind of thing. I mean, I've never had a gatekeeping problem. I've just had weird player problems. Sheba knows the I don't know Winter does, but definitely Sheba knows, as I like to call it, my Vampire the Masquerade horror story. I've never had a horror story with D&D. Most of the time, pretty chill. It's this game that I've had horror stories with, and oh my god. You know the one.
Yeah, we'll get to that like in much like
Much later. It's funny, but it's also horrifying.
It's more like this
Oh boy. Oh boy.
we'll whisper into your ear.
Wow. No, but yeah, so if you're gonna start a game group, the best way to start is find people locally. Like that's always a good option. And if you can't do that, there's tons of online options. Like again, Roll20, like you said, Winter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have a specific section to join random games, so it's pretty nifty.
I mean, I've done it back in the day with the Skype kind of games. Yeah. Yeah, that's how old I am when it comes to this. I use Skype.
Bitch, get on my level when you use the fucking Windows Messenger.
Oh shit. I'm not that old.
Or the AOL shit.
Yeah, I was about to say AOL.
Jesus
Some people wouldn't even know what that is.
American Online, that's what it means. You got
What are you
mail.
What are you talking about? What are you talking of this ancient sorcery? No, but yeah. Also, another thing is if you are a little nervous with getting into the hobby, there's actually ways to introduce yourself into the hobby before you actually dip your feet into actually playing. Like there's several video games you can play that are pretty close to their to the tabletop equivalent, like stuff like Baldur's Gate. You can play on PC, and that's it. Unfortunately, at the moment.
Well, basically any game that is like choice based, you could probably
Mhm.
apply to that and think in the same Same vein.
Oh, definitely.
I think the universal choice would be the Skyrim, because apparently that's apparently that's gonna be like oh, what's this game about? Do you ever play Skyrim? Yeah, it's like that. Oh, okay.
No one ever plays Morrowind. Sorry, that's the old fart in me. Just like
Future is now, old man.
shut up, you filthy noir. Get on my level as I get on my stilt strider. You know, go drink. I'll just drink some skooma. Fuck y'all.
Waka waka.
Waka waka.
Wow, we are an hour into this.
I know. How long do you want to have this podcast for?
I don't know. Whatever you feel like it. I feel like this is good enough that we can end it right now.
We could do maybe 20 minutes extra to bullshitting.
Yeah. Cool. I mean, this is just a humble beginnings, and
yeah, this is a very beginning. Yeah, we have no. Sorry. We don't have any set schedule. Sheba, you, I, and Winter, we obviously have to talk about what scheduling would be fine. Obviously, I'd be okay with Thursday night because that's when I'm free.
Yeah.
But yeah, and how much we're gonna put out, who knows? This might never be popular, and we're just bullshitting at a wall, or who knows? So, just kidding.
Let's knock that shit off.
Having fun.
It's all about fun, of course. I mean, technically, this is not the first podcast I was on. Oh, Sheba. Remember when we first tried to do one?
Yeah, that was kind of
that was a shit show.
It got off topic real quick.
Yeah, it got really bad. But, that was our first one, and that never saw the light of day, which I will never release. I have the file, and I will never release it. You'll have to pay me to do it. Anyway, yeah, there's just multiple ways to get into the hobby. There's video games, obviously. There's Critical Role, LA by Night, which is Winter's gonna be mad that I'm gonna say this. I actually like LA by Night more than Critical Role.
Oh, I've never even heard of that other one.
Oh my god, it's a vampire one. There's a Call of Cthulhu one that used to be
edgy.
I know, the edge. There's there used to be a Call of Cthulhu one. I forgot what it was called. That one's pretty good. I'll probably link it someday. Who knows? But yeah, there's multiple ways to get into this. So honestly, it's probably the best time to get into the hobby, but also the worst, because if you want to get into it physically,
yeah, that's a little tough right now.
It's a little tough right now due
to the plague.
Yeah. But hey, there's other options. Just just don't lose hope about it. Don't be cynical.
Yeah, don't be cynical about it. Seriously. And another thing is, I will say though, honestly, I enjoy any game you two are in, and I'm either DMing or playing it, and I'm thankful I have really awesome people like you guys around.
Oh my gosh, me too. Especially hearing people's horror stories.
I know. Honestly, these groups, they make, if you find the right one, they make friends for life, for a long time. You want to know how long me and Sheba have known each other because of these fucking things? We've known each other since, what was it, grade school?
Since grade school, then that's how long we've known each other. Became best friends in high school
because of this shit.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And now I was his best man at his wedding, and he's going to be my best man at my wedding. So
Oh,
that's how close you can get with these games. And I hope whoever's listening, if you are listening, I don't know if you are, or just dropped in, if you do find a group that's perfect for you, seriously, you get those kinds of people that you'll just cherish forever. That's the best feeling, honestly.
yeah, it really helps bring people together.
Mhm. Even though you have disagreements with certain things that happened in game. Are you gonna be trying to beat me up in Monday game, Sheba? Is there a gauntlet being thrown down?
No, it's more like I'm gonna be. No, more like my character's gonna drag your character out of the fucking bed and throw you out. Just to say, say your sword right now.
Right now, penance. But yeah,
And my character will just hang out and watch.
You look at that child in the eye. You apologize to him.
Winter's just gonna have the bowl of popcorn and just watch the freak show.
Wait, she can't eat the popcorn. She's a vampire.
Vampire. Oh, sorry.
But I'll have it just for the heck of it.
Just hear loud crunching noises in the background.
No, she just makes the crunching noises with her mouth. Vampires can. Anyway,
Anyway, that's more stuff. No, but all right. Well, I guess another thing before we leave, or at least stop. Top 3 favorite games, like tabletop games, and ones that you would recommend for new people, at least. Like, what would you? I'll let you start, Sheba. Top 3, go.
honestly, D&D is it's gonna been a big impact on my guess I would say RPG career, I guess. But, development, yeah. Call of Cthulhu and Vampires the Masquerade is always my favorite too. I would actually really recommend for new people to get into that. Just start with the current D&D that's coming out, Dungeons and Dragons that's coming around, the 5th edition. That is literally, and I'm going to say this because I know there's some people who are like are holding to with their death grips on 3.5, which is third edition of D&D. It is the most simplest. 5th edition is the most simplest thing. It's the most easiest edition to get into that genre, that entire genre, and I will nail it on my fucking door about that too, because I would fight that because I am tired of, I'm tired of the whole gatekeeping shit like that, where it's like, no, play 3.5. And it's like, no, 5th edition. It's easy. It's simple. You will enjoy it.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is you're going to be the Martin Luther of gaming?
I'm going to be the Martin Luther of gaming, and I'll nail it on some
first door.
Some scrub's door. When do we stop using the word scrub, by the way?
Really?
Early 2000s.
Like we kind of stopped using the word scrub, and then it just kind of died out. Now it's just like Hex.
I just call people nub.
Hex, plebs, and shit like that.
Sorry,
Plebs
can I
is a
join
funny
in
one.
on that scrub part real quick? Just real quick. It died in 2009. Get over it. Scrub.
There you go. See?
There you go. There's your answer.
There's the answer right there.
Anyway, I'll get off my fucking soapbox.
He takes a soapbox, and then he just puts it on top of his head. It's a new hat. No, but
and now it's a hat.
Anytime you start talking about 3.5, just before I let Winter say her top 3, you know who I think of? Eric.
Yeah.
Walk. Oh, come on. I love you're my brother Sheba, but he is also my brother, so I just gotta make fun of him
he's
for
my
that.
brother too. I love him like a brother too. He's just more like we keep shitting on Eric about that. And I'm like, Eric, just remember, it's easier. Now we must play it. But he's slowly accepting it. That's easy to get into for the new people, mostly with the new people. But when it's just us, he goes like, "Can we play 3.5, please?"
Please. I mean, I'd like to play it again.
I played again, but I need to get the Dungeon Master guide for it. I have apparently, according to our friend TJ, I have the special edition of 3.5, the player's handbook and the monster manual.
Yeah, you do. You got the revised version.
Yeah, it's the shiny version of it, and he goes, "What?" He goes, "What? Where'd you get that, Gen Con? Oh my god!" Freaks the fuck out about it. I'm like, I just picked it up at Gen Con because it was cheap.
Breathe into infinity. Anyway, okay. So winner, you have 3 games, 3 tabletop games. And these are games you don't have to absolutely have played, but it's ones that you like a lot, and that obviously that you can list. So what would be your top 3?
I mean, the 5th edition is definitely a really good one because, like Sheba was saying, it's super easy and anybody can get into it. I feel like if you're gonna be in tabletop games and D&D, that you should at least try 3.5 a little bit, just so that you could get a little closer to like the roots and the traditional type of D&D, just so you can feel it out and understand that aspect of it. But it doesn't have to be something you play all the time, or I'm not gonna be one of those people that's like raw 3.5. I just think it's good to have played it at least once, so you get that side of it.
Yes. I had a full belly laugh, by the way. Anyway.
Pathfinder is good, but I would
Yes.
suggest people wait until they're a little more experienced, because that one can be a little overwhelming. There's a little more to it. There's like more math and more details.
Sorry to cut you. So for those who don't know, Pathfinder is basically 3.5 D&D, but their own system about it. It's more revised and much I guess clearer to understand than regular D&D 3.5.
They used to call it 3.75.
Yes. Anyway, continue, Winter.
Because see, I've had the opposite experience. Pathfinder was a little more not difficult for me to grasp, but there was like a lot to keep track of, and maybe not as much for me for 3.5. I don't know. Maybe it was the group I was in too.
I know Nikki really loves Pathfinder, the game, besides D&D.
Yeah, anything Pathfinder is pretty fun. Also, like the Waterdeep game, the module. Yes. That's one of my favorites. Like I played that one last year with my boyfriend's group. And it's one of those good ones where you can play it if you're an inexperienced player, or if you're an experienced player and still enjoy it, because there's such variety. But then there's also a book to go by if you need more guidance, and so it's really cool.
I mean, we could always plug our current game too. I mean, also a really good one is the Final Fantasy D20. Not official, just so you know. It's a free game.
Don't talk about that. Remember, Square Enix will find out. Don't.
Oh shit! Sorry. Oh,
they're here.
Wee woo. I would say, well, for my top 3, I have a lot more broader taste when it comes to games and such and genre. I've at least read. I've definitely played a pretty good large amount. Unhealthily, it's almost an unhealthy obsession. Sheba knows, like I have a huge bookshelf of like.
I've seen it. It's taken up. His fiance is becoming concerned about it too.
He's very concerned. I've actually been thinking about getting more. Don't let her know. Anyway, no, the 3 games I would usually recommend for people who are starting out. Obviously, 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. That's like pretty much the gateway drug for this hobby. There's so many resources for it. There's literally so much support for it. There's more support for this edition than there has been in years. I would remember back in the day when for 3.5, the support we got was like, I want to say almost like 50 books, like huge amounts of books. Here, it's more concise, it's more focused, and it's way easier to play.
There's less books. I said that
3.5 had so many books.
5th edition has more revised books, and they're still expanding too.
Which is good, because that's what I was worried about when 5th edition came out. When they first came out, I was like, shit, where the hell is everything else? Anyway.
Oh, go on. Well, I'll talk about it later.
Yeah. Later topic, like all that stuff. But the other game I would always recommend is a game I've played since I was 16. It would be Vampire the Masquerade. If you like that storytelling kind of game where it's more role play heavy than combat, and you want to do more darker themes of like loss and loss of identity, fairly sexual themes, like it can get pretty graphic. That's a game to get into. Also a sister game, and I know Winter loved it, and I definitely know Sheba loved it. Werewolf the Apocalypse is also a game you should play.
Yeah, that's a good one. It's more of a storyteller type game, but it's still really fun.
So good. Obsessed with that game. And then the third one.
Obsessed.
Yeah, I mean, for like 20th anniversary, I bought every book for that game. I have all of it. Anyway, book that I would honestly recommend, and this is for people who I know I just said a horror game, but this is more for sci-fi. A really good game to try out if you're into sci-fi, and especially if you're into Warhammer 40K, Wrath and Glory. Play that game. It is it's so fun. You get to play literally everything from an Imperial Guardsman all the way to a Primaris Space Marine. It's fun. Yeah, Space Marines. You can play an orc in that game. It's amazing. So, 10 out of 10. No, that game is really good. So totally check that out. Those are my top 3, in no certain order. But yeah, so well, I think it's pretty much a good time to call it quit. Hopefully you guys, the viewers who watch this and the future viewers who are watching this, I hope you enjoyed our first podcast. Thanks everybody for showing up. Seriously, I can't wait to do more of these.
Can we please do more of these? Because I kind of want to do more of these, because I'm kind of glad we're doing actually group projects for once.
I know.
Me too.
How many times I've been trying to get you guys to do?
Well, then let's keep it up.
Stop looking at me, Sheba.
I'm looking at you. Even though I can't see you right now, I am glaring in the direction where your house is. And if I had heat vision, it would go across the fucking city.
Dark side style.
Fucking Omni beam your goddamn household.
Send that beam over to his workplace.
Yeah, there you go. If you do that, I'll be happy.
Oh, that's coming on its way. That's gotta make a U-turn. Yeah.
One eye on the street, one eye on the prize. But yeah, but no, like we're gonna continue doing this. We'll probably Sheba and me and Winter, we're obviously going to come up with a schedule that will be for the release of more of these. That'll be in the future. Probably, what do you want to say? Like maybe next week we might do another one if we have a chance to.
Let's talk about TV shows and movies. I don't know, something.
Yeah, stuff that inspires you to play.
Like, I don't know, just we'll pick up the topics. Just more like I just want to talk about movies and TV shows,
which is fine. I just always want to center it back on this topic.
I know.
Tabletop, which is fine. That's actually a perfect topic, honestly. Like, what inspires you to put what you see or read into what your games?
Oh yeah, your character creation or how you role play, things like that.
Like I think that'd be perfect, and that lets you talk, whip out your your encyclopedic knowledge of Ghostbusters, Sheba.
You think it's just Ghostbusters?
Yeah, you're right. You right. Toxic Avenger. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, there's only two things that can be toxic in this world. One is Toxic by Britney Spears, and the Toxic Avenger.
Toxic Avenger.
I want that as a shirt.
Do it.
I can't do it. I don't have the means or the the equipment to make it.
I guess we'll have to look for somewhere else for that.
I can
But
ask
anyway, maybe. All right. Well, so yeah, everybody, thanks for showing up. We'll be ending it here, and for those who are watching this in the future, let us know, comment or whatever how you do. Just comment what you started with this hobby, and if you have any funny stories or whatever about how you got into it. So everybody, hope you have a good night. Oh, sorry.
I was about to say this will be uploaded on my YouTube page, so you guys can listen to it if you guys missed it. If you, because I found out that like some people like prefer to watch stuff on YouTube than Twitch.
That's me.
Because they can do it at any time, and it still counts it and stuff.
Yeah, and it's forever. Yeah. Well, until the copyright overlords say otherwise.
I can't believe I got copyright strike on fucking Lo-Fi Girl the records. Even though they said you can use it, you can use the music, just as long as you credit us. I did. They're like, and then YouTube's like, no, it's not good enough.
That's because I think YouTube has a different copyright rulings instead of Twitch.
No, this is for both.
Oh, really? That's weird.
I know. I mean, linked them to the website. I was like, here, right there.
Did they ever?
Their algorithm just catches stuff when it shouldn't.
Yeah. Did you ever get that resolved?
I'm still waiting on it.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it could take them up to a month to respond. But the good news is if they don't, then after a month you get the claim taken off. So
by default.
Yeah.
I think so.
Well, there you go.
Well, they said that basically you just won't get monetized and all that. I don't give a shit if they go get monetized. I kind of do want to get that YouTube money, but still.
Some of that YouTube money. Get that Markiplier money when you get a chance.
You can't stop me, Spider-Man. I've learned the power of the Let's Player. Let me unleash it for you. Hello, everybody. My name is Markiplier.
Pretty much. All right. Well, is there anything else we need to say? Like when are you going to upload this to YouTube? Like, do you know when or?
Well, after this, I'm actually going to be streaming a game, just me playing it, and I'm kind of like in deciding either I should do Minecraft or more Smite because I'm gonna get into either or of them.
Play Smite, honestly. I'm probably what I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna start cooking because my future wife is gonna be coming home soon and she's like, "Where's the food?"
All right. Well, we'll end it for right here.